Listen closely. I'm going to tell you something that changed my life. And it can change yours too. My name is Madam C. J. Walker, and I started with nothing. Actually, less than nothing. I was born to enslaved parents in 1867 on a Louisiana plantation. By 7, I was orphaned. By 14, I was married just to escape abuse. By 20, I was a widowed single mother, washing clothes for $1.50 a day. My hands were raw, my back ached, and my hair was falling out from stress, poor nutrition, and the harsh products we used back then. But here's what I need you to understand. That wasn't my story. That was just my starting point. You see, most people think success is about having the right circumstances, the right education, the right connections. They wait for the perfect moment. They wait for permission. They wait for someone to hand them an opportunity. I'm here to tell you that's not how it works. The secret? You don't wait for the door to open. You become the door. Let me explain what I mean. In 1905, I was 37 years old, still washing clothes, still struggling. One night, I had a dream. A big man appeared and told me what to mix for my hair. When I woke up, I didn't dismiss it. I didn't say, "That's silly," or, "Who am I to think I could create something?" I tested it on myself. It worked. Then I tested it on friends. It worked. And then, here's the crucial part, I did something most people never do. I acted like I was already successful before I had any proof I would be. I took my life savings, $1.50, the same amount I made in a day, washing clothes, and I invested it in ingredients. I made my product. I sold it door to door. And when people asked who I was, I didn't say, "I'm just a washerwoman trying something new." I said, "I'm Madam C. J. Walker, and I have a solution to your problem." You hear that? I gave myself the title, Madam, before I had anything. Before I was anybody in society's eyes. I claimed my dignity before the world agreed I deserved it. That's the first part of the secret. You must see yourself as who you're becoming, not who you've been. But here's the second part, and this is where most people stop. Even if they start, I didn't just create a product. I created a system. I trained other women to sell it. I gave them not just a job but a way to transform their own lives. By 1910, I had over 1,000 women working as sales agents across the country. I built factories. I built a beauty school. I created training programs. While other people were thinking about making a sale, I was thinking about building an empire. And here's what nobody tells you about building something big. It's not about working harder. I already worked hard washing clothes. Hard work alone keeps you stuck in the same place. It's about working on the right things. It's about leverage. Every hour I spent training another woman to sell my products was an hour that multiplied my impact. Every system I created meant my business could grow while I was sleeping. Think about your life right now. Are you trading hours for dollars? Or are you building something that works for you? The third part of my secret is this. I never forgot where I came from, and I never apologized for where I was going. When I became wealthy, people criticized me. They said I was too flashy, too bold, too much. I built a mansion in New York that rivaled the homes of the richest white families. I drove a car when most women didn't even have driver's licenses. I spoke on stages. I fought for civil rights. I gave my money to causes I believed in. Some people said, "Why doesn't she just be grateful for what she has? Why does she have to make such a statement?" I'll tell you why. Because every time a woman who looked like me, who came from where I came from, stepped into a space we weren't supposed to occupy, I made it easier for the next woman. I was opening doors not just for myself but for generations to come. That's legacy. That's what you're really building when you pursue success. You're not just changing your own life. You're proving what's possible. Now, let me give you the practical part. The part you can use today, right now, no matter where you're starting from. First, stop waiting for perfect conditions. I created a hair care empire before there were beauty supply stores, before there was advertising. As we know it, before women could even vote in this country. If I had waited for the right time, I'd have died washing clothes. What are you waiting for? What's your excuse? I'm telling you with love. Your excuses are just fear wearing a disguise. Second, Solve a real problem for real people. I didn't create a product because I thought it would make me rich. I created it because I had a problem. And I figured other women had the same problem. When you solve genuine problems, people pay you. It's that simple. What problem do you see in your world? What frustrates you? What do people around you complain about? That's your opportunity. Third, think bigger than yourself. The moment I started training other women, my business exploded. Why? Because I stopped thinking, how do I make money, and started thinking, how do I create opportunity for others while building something sustainable? Generosity and business success aren't opposites. They're partners. The more value you create for others, the more wealth flows to you. Fourth, claim your dignity now. Not when you're not when you have permission. Now. I called myself Madam before I had a penny. I carried myself like a businesswoman before I had a business. You teach people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. If you don't respect your own dreams, nobody else will either. Fifth, invest in yourself before it's comfortable. That $1.50 I spent on ingredients? That was everything I had. It was terrifying, but I believed in my vision more than I feared poverty. And here's the truth: staying where you are is also a risk. Playing it safe is not actually safe. It's just slow decline. What would happen if you took the money you're about to spend on something that doesn't matter and invested it in your growth instead? A course, a mentor, a tool for your business, materials to create something. Sixth, build systems, not just income. Every hour you work should create value beyond that hour. Write something that can be read 1,000 times. Create something that can be sold while you sleep. Teach someone who can then teach others. That's leverage. That's how you stop trading time for money. And finally, seventh, use your success as a platform for change. I gave generously to schools, to the NAACP, to anti-lynching campaigns. I spoke out against injustice. Even when it wasn't popular for a businesswoman to do so. Your success is not just for you. It's a responsibility. It's a megaphone. Use it to lift others, to speak truth, to make the world different than you found it. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. But Madam Walker, I'm not trying to build $1 million empire. I just want to pay my bills. I just want to stop struggling. Let me tell you something. I started by just wanting my hair to stop falling out. I started by just wanting to earn a little extra money. But when you do things the right way, when you follow principles that work, small goals turn into big realities. You don't have to know the whole path. You just have to take the next right step. And here's what I know about you, even though we've never met. You have something in you. A dream, an idea, a skill, a vision of a different life. You've probably pushed it down. Told yourself it's not realistic. Told yourself you're too old, too young, too inexperienced, too educated. Not educated enough, too whatever. I'm here to tell you those are lies. The only difference between you and the life you want is action. Consistent, focused, courageous action toward a clear goal. I died in 1919. I was only 51 years old. But I lived more in those 51 years than most people live in 90. I went from the cotton fields to a mansion. From washing clothes to employing thousands. From invisible to unforgettable. Not because I was lucky. Not because I was special. But because I refused to accept that my circumstances defined my destiny. You have that same power. Right now. Today. This moment. What's the one thing you've been putting off? The business idea. The creative project. The difficult conversation. The bold move. What's the thing that, if you did it, could change everything? Stop telling yourself you'll do it someday. Stop waiting for permission. Stop expecting someone else to hand you your dream. You are the answer you've been waiting for. Take your $50, whatever that means for you, and invest it in your vision. Claim your title before you've earned it. Walk through doors like you belong there. Build something bigger than yourself. And never, never apologize for wanting more, being more, creating more. That's my secret. That's how a washerwoman became a millionaire. That's how the impossible becomes inevitable. Now go. Your destiny is waiting, but it won't wait forever. This is Madam C.J. Walker, and I believe in you. The question is, do you believe in yourself?